Joining me now from Torrance, California, owner of CDMG Marketing and founder of electionforum.com, Craig Huey. Craig, I think the homeless crisis in California is emblematic, certainly, of the problem that y'all are facing in the once great state of California, and that's the liberal leadership. Your message, though, is don't panic. There is a light at the end of the tunnel for the Republican Party, and it's through the ballot box, but playing by their rules.
Graham, things have changed so much in politics, and they can change the political climate in California completely and nationwide. And that has to do with what the Democrats perfected in the last election.
Well, to quote Animal House, don't get mad, get even. And that's effectively what you're telling. I think this was your message to the Republican Party at their retreat out in the desert. Don't get mad, get even. In other words, weaponize the ballot harvesting that the Democrat leadership in California imposed on the people of California. Weaponize it on your behalf through power of assembly, which is fascinating to me because this involves the First Amendment, the power of assembly.
It absolutely does. So your listeners, so they know what ballot harvesting is. It's something that's legal in 27 states. It's illegal in 18. And in California, it's been perfected by the progressives and the socialists, the Democrats and the unions. They perfected it in 2018, and they were able to wipe out the Republicans. They took over houses. They took over the Assembly. They took over the Senate. They took over all these local candidates, even the judges, because of ballot harvesting. And that's where instead of a husband or a wife brings the ballot to the voter registration if one of them is sick, one person, you, me, anybody, can pick up any ballots we want, right, take it to the voter registration office. They had as many as 500 ballots coming by one person.
A Democrat operative doing this. And so what you're suggesting is harnessing the power of churches, harnessing the power of the evangelical vote, which, by the way, in the 2018 numbers, were devastating in terms of the voter turnout. Evangelicals largely, for whatever reason, didn't turn out very well in 2018. Two-thirds or three-quarters did not vote. And so you're suggesting going through the churches and doing effectively ballot harvesting through the churches, but you also have the Johnson Amendment to worry about, right?
No, you don't have the Johnson Amendment. The Johnson Amendment basically scared pastors from ever being involved in politics, but Trump has basically made the Johnson Amendment of no effect. It's not being enforced. He made an executive order on that. What it is now is this. You could have a pastor. He may have 500 people in the church, 1,000 people in the church, 10, 15, 20,000 people in the church, and say, I want you to register to vote. I have a voter guide for you, and I want you to come in with your ballot. We'll help you know how to vote, and we will gather these ballots, and I'll personally take it to the voter registration. We could transform this election on the local, state, and national level like never before because they trust the pastor. And so the numbers are huge. We got 80 million evangelical Christians, and yet a huge amount did not vote. Over half did not vote in the last election. We have in California alone, Graham, California has 14 million evangelical born-again Christians who vote 81% conservative.
And imagine if you get all those 14 million to come out and vote in a constitutional way and the way potentially these pastors suggested they vote, especially for pro-life candidates. Could be an absolute game changer. I love it. I love it, Craig, because you're weaponizing the rules against the people who put in these draconian rules to harm the people who are now fighting back. It's full circle. And as I said, I think the folks who wrote Animal House would approve of this. And I think constitutional Californians would approve as well. Craig, thank you.